What's up, everyone? Welcome to This Day in Philly Sports History for July 28th, 2023. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery. Well, the big news out of Philadelphia sports yesterday, as you can see, is the Eagles teased and announced that they will be bringing back the Kelly Green jerseys. Details will be coming out on Monday. Now, a couple things about the jerseys. One, I do like the color. This lettering right here that I'm wearing on my shirt, this is my favorite lettering. I really do like this eagle as well. But I think, as with most things in Philly sports, we tend to overvalue the Kelly Green jerseys. Again, I like them. I'm probably going to go out and buy a jersey. But just let's pump the brakes a little bit. They're the jerseys. They didn't win anything in these jerseys. These jerseys represent a losing culture. They look nice, but just let's keep that in mind. And speaking of things that we overvalue and overrate in Philly sports, check out the latest Back to the Future. I do a list on the most overrated and underrated things in Philly sports history. And you guessed it, the Kelly Green jerseys are on there. So go give that a listen and check it out. But I am excited. I really think they look – I like the looks of them. It's very nostalgic. We'll do it for one game, and then we move on. Sell your jerseys, wear them to the game. That's fine. But give me the midnight green. They've won a Super Bowl. They've dominated record-wise and division-wise and just everything-wise. But go ahead and give Back to the Future a listen. I go into more detail on the jerseys. Phillies back in action tonight in Pittsburgh. They got to take 2 out of 3. They have to take 2 out of 3. And what's up with the Marlins and the Mets making deals within the division? So I'm anxious to see now, Dombrowski. It's your move. What are we going to do here? But they'll be in Pittsburgh this weekend. I will be in Pittsburgh later tonight. Waking up tomorrow, driving to Cleveland for a family reunion on my wife's side. So I will be out there. Just will not be able to get to a Phillies game. So hopefully we can bring the Phillies some good luck while we're out that way. Sticking with the Eagles, obviously the big story was the Kelly Green jerseys. But Jalen Carter said something, I guess, in camp yesterday that was pretty funny, and I think he's going to fit in just fine with the fans. He talked about can't wait to kill the Cowboys and really looking forward to going into that rivalry. Again, you got to love a guy that's going to say something like that. So pretty cool way to endear yourself to Phillies fans. The other thing is, too, and I don't know when he said this, but Nick Sirianni said something, I don't know whether it was a press conference or an interview, but really stuck with me. And everybody's been talking so much about this Super Bowl hangover and getting back and how difficult it is. And he came out and said, our goal right now is not to get to the Super Bowl. And he's like, I know that sounds crazy, and I know you're probably like, what are you saying? But our goal right now is to get better than we were yesterday, or get better today, I think he said. He said, in order to win 2 games, you have to win 1. And listen, it's easy to say, but I think just the way, like, he is, since he's been here, that's sort of the mentality he has. You have Jalen Hurts as your quarterback who really comes across. And again, I think if I'm going to bet on a team to finally break that curse and go back after losing the Super Bowl to win one, I'm not betting against Sirianni or Jalen Hurts. I'm sorry. So they're saying the right things, but you can tell when somebody's just saying the right things. I truly believe that's what he believes. He's just focused on getting better today than they were yesterday. And again, Jalen Hurts the man's like a machine. He's just dead focused. So if I had to put money on anybody to do it, I'm putting my money on Sirianni and Hurts. All right, Sixers news. There was an article in the paper, or I guess no, it was on 6 ABC, and they were talking about, they had one of the guys from the Sixers ownership group talking about the new stadium, and really covered and hit a lot of the things people are concerned about. And it was interesting because just in the comments, I think it was either on Twitter or Facebook, Twitter, I saw it, or X now, whatever. But a lot of the comments, it seemed like they were coming from people in the suburbs. And as somebody who lives in the suburbs, I would much rather have that stadium right there where it's going to go, where I can just go right down the street here, hop on a train, take it right in there, grab dinner, hop on the train back, then driving down and paying the ridiculous amount for parking and dealing with the traffic and everything like that. And they had everything covered. They're giving money to, like, it's 100% privately funded. They're giving money to the city and tax revenue. Some of that tax revenue is earmarked for the school district. All the things that people in Philly complain about, the Sixers are kind of covering, and people are still complaining about it because that's what we do in Philly. But like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I think being able to have the access on the train is going to be huge. And I know there's going to be a certain core group of people that are like, I'm not taking public transportation. Well, guess what? I would love to be able to take public transportation right down to the game. Even for Eagles games, it's a pain in the ass because you have to take so many different lines. But you just shoot right into Market East, or whatever it's called now, Jefferson Station. But go right into the Market East Station. Boom, you're there. The restaurants are there. Like, you can't beat it. So the Sixers are doing their due diligence. They're doing what they can. And, I mean, as someone who's in education, going to earmark $200 million a year for the school district, you have my attention. There is no real update on the James Harden situation. Although Charles Barkley might be losing it, he picked the Sixers as one of the 4 teams that could actually win a championship. I don't know what he's seeing, but I don't know. All right. You want more coverage on the Phillies? I know they'll be out in Pittsburgh, and we're waiting for their trade. Go check out our friends at 2008 Phils. They have the biggest Phillies email newsletter in the world. It's a must-read. I've been talking about it, but it's well worth it. For a limited time, they're giving This Day in Philly Sports History listeners 75% off. Follow the link in the description wherever you're getting this. A subscription gets you access to all the posts, all the archives, all the discussion boards. You get that great 2008 championship banner t-shirt. 2008 Phils will follow your Twitter account. Access to special giveaways, autographs, tickets, memorabilia, that type of thing. And it's $2 a month or $20 for the year. Definitely worth it. Follow that link for your exclusive 75% off. And because you guys have been doing such a great job with that, we have been able to extend that offer. And I have 3 one-month subscriptions to give away. And all you need to do is like, subscribe, and leave a comment in the comments wherever you're getting this. And I'll put your name in for a random drawing. So if you're still on the fence and want to check it out, all you got to do is leave a comment. And I'll put you in a drawing for one free month so you can see what it's all about for yourself. Now, you won't get the t-shirt, but you'll get to see what is actually on the website and what they're all about. All right, interesting one today. We're going to go back to 1875. And on this day, July 28th, 1875, Joe Borden of the Philadelphia White Stockings pitched the first ever no-hitter in professional baseball. Now, the Philadelphia White Stockings that day now bear with me here, they beat the Chicago White Stockings 4-0. And you can see they were very creative on their names back then. But both teams were members of the National Association of Professional Baseball Players League, known as the National Association, or the NA for short. That league would ultimately lead to the creation of the National League in 1876. The Chicago team, the White Stockings, would go on to be the Chicago Cubs that we know. The Philly team folded after that season. After just 3 years, they played at the Jefferson Street grounds, which is 25th, 26th, and Jefferson. If you know that area, there's like a field there now. There's a rec center, a school, I believe. But Joe Borden was a Burlington County native from New Jersey. He pitched the following season for the Boston Red Caps. He was credited with being the winning pitcher in the first ever National League game. And then he lost his mojo and was released that August and never played Major League Baseball again. But on this day in 1875, Joe Borden of the Philadelphia White Stockings became the first professional baseball player to pitch a no-hitter. He would then go on to win the first ever game in the National League before losing his mojo and being out of the league. You know who won't lose their mojo? Philly Goat. It's back to school. The Eagles are coming up. They have a ton. If you like the Kelly Green, they have a ton of Kelly Green t-shirts and apparel on their website, much cheaper than what you're going to be able to go to Fanatics or Rally House and get, or even the Eagles website. So go check out phillygoat.com. Back to school, Kelly Green Phillies, whatever you want, they have. Any size, any color. They have kids. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery for 10% off of your order. You won't be disappointed. Go to phillygoat.com. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery for 10% off your order and make sure it has the authentic goat on the sleeve. All right, we are slowly winding down the Philly Sports Most Lovable Loser. We have a representative from the Phillies regional. It's last year's team, 2022. They are moving on. They dominated the 2009 team, which would have been my choice. But 71% of the vote, they are moving on. They will play the winner of the Sixers regional final, which we're going to get into today. All right, for the Sixers final, we have the number 3 team, the 2000-2001 team, taking on the number 4 seed, 1981-82 seed. Everybody remembers and loves that 2000-2001 team. They're one of the favorites to win this entire tournament. To get here, they beat the 85-86 and the 80-81 team. Both pretty handily, too. Again, this is one of the fan favorites. I have a feeling I can see which way this is going. And when I created this tournament, they were the odds-on favorite, I thought, to win, even though they were the 3 seed. More on that later. But that team went through the playoffs, beat the Raptors, Bucks, and then lost to the Lakers. Remember, we had AI, Mutombo, Aaron McKee, Larry Brown coached that team. They captivated the entire area. Everybody had Sixers flags. Everybody was Sixered up. It was must-see TV. One of the biggest celebrations I've ever seen, and that includes the Eagles winning the Super Bowl and the Phillies winning the World Series. Obviously, those two are here, but when the Sixers beat the Lakers, that's right underneath those two things. Everybody was just pumped up, and then that was like the high point of they came back and lost 4 straight. They just couldn't have a secondary scorer to go with AI. You want more on that? There's a Back to the Future episode where we discuss why it didn't work out. They will be taking on the 81-82 team, who beat the 18-19 team and the 79-80 team to get here. They were the 3rd seed that year in the NBA, rolled through the playoffs, had a 3-1 lead against the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Final. Celtics came back, forced Game 7. Luckily, the Sixers won. That was the Beat LA year. It would have been devastating for that team because that would have been their 2nd straight blown 3-1 Eastern Conference Final lead in a row. Luckily, they went back, lost to the Lakers 4-2. Realized that as constructed, they weren't going to do it. Went out, got Moses Malone, and ultimately won it the next year. So now it's your turn. Who wins, the 2000-2001 Sixers or the 81-82? Both disappointing in their own right. We have the 3 seed taking on the 4 seed. So they're pretty evenly matched. Played this out on What If Sports, and it was all 81-82. They won 7 out of 10 times, and ultimately came down to not having a secondary scoring option for AI. AI had a decent series. It was a good defensive series. Most of the games were close with the exception of one, but they just couldn't. There's too much firepower on the 81-82 team. But tell me, who wins? Comment on this. If you comment, that could be your comment for the free subscription. Just make sure to like and subscribe. But tell me, who wins? Who represents the Sixers and takes on the 2022 Phillies for a spot in the Philly Lovable Loser Final? On this day, back in 1875, Joe Borden of the Philadelphia White Stockings pitched the first professional baseball no-hitter against the Chicago White Stockings, who would go on to be the Cubs. Go check out our friends at 2008 Phils. Follow that link for a 75% discount. 75%, that's insane. But go check it out exclusively for This Day in Philly Sports listeners. Check out our friends at Philly Goat. Check out their selection of Kelly Green. They have an awesome fly shirt with this writing, this color. Pretty sweet, so go check it out. Let's go Phils. We need to take at least 2 out of 3. Dombrowski, have your phone ready because we need to make a move. Go have yourselves a weekend. This has been This Day in Philly Sports History. I'm Jim Montgomery, and until next time, I'll see you when I see you.